Hi, I'm Borrill, motoring editor of GQ magazine. When you think of Porsche, usually the first car that springs to mind is the fabled 911. We often tend to forget about the other models that are just as good, like the Porsche Cayman. This is the Porsche Cayman R, and although it's not as track-owned as the 911, it's still just as capable. The Porsche Cayman R is essentially a Cayman S, but it has undergone a series of tweaks, both aesthetically and mechanically. On the outside, the only difference, as you can see, is the optional aero kit, which is the black trim spoiler and the black side mirrors. But the best part is what's happened in the suspension and the engine. Now there are about 3 important differences between the Cayman S and the Cayman R. The Cayman R has undergone significant weight reduction, and things like the wheels have been lightened. They've used 19-inch Porsche Boxster Spider wheels. The doors have been lightened with aluminium, and instead of door handles, we got these door latches. The seats are also lighter, carbon fiber seats, and the fuel tank has also been lightened with an aluminium composite. Now what this means is that the Porsche Cayman R is 65 kilograms lighter than the regular Cayman S, and although that doesn't sound like much, if you're going in a straight line or you're going around a track, that's definitely going to make a massive difference in time. And carrying on with the weight reduction theme, you can also order the Cayman R without a radio or aircon. And I can live without an aircon because I usually drive with the windows open, but sometimes you want to listen to a song, you want to listen to the radio, so that's an option I'll keep. This particular Cayman R I'm testing isn't the manual version. It's fitted with the PDK system, which stands for Porsche Double Kupplung Getriebe, which is a double clutch 7-speed automatic gearbox with paddle shift. The second and probably one of the most important tweaks that Porsche has done to the Cayman R is the suspension setup. It features a bespoke suspension arrangement that makes it 20 millimeters lower than the regular Cayman S. Now that means that the center of gravity is much lower and the car's closer to the ground, and that means it can get through corners much better. It's more sure-footed and agile around the corners, and it feels way more nimble. Whether you take this car out on the track or go to work, you're going to get the same experience, and that's, you get a lot of feedback through the steering wheel. Everything feels natural. You feel like the car's an extension of your body, and that's probably one of the best feelings you can get from a car, and that's a feeling most motoring enthusiasts want. You don't want to feel removed and like you're not part of what's happening. And with the Cayman R, it's anything but. It's a wonderful car. The third and final improvement Porsche's carried out on the Cayman R is the engine setup. And although it still employs the same 3.4 litre flat 6 like in the Cayman S, it's been tweaked slightly. The ECU has aggressive software, and it's got a sports exhaust system. This means that power output has increased by 8 kilowatts, meaning that the Cayman R now produces 243 kilowatts and 370 newton meters. And although it's not as much as its turbocharged rivals like the BMW 1M Coupe and the Audi RS3, it's just as fast. 0 to 100 takes 5 seconds flat, and it can reach a top speed of 282 kilometers per hour. Now, there are also a couple of extras inside the Cayman which can make the experience a much more memorable one. There are 3 switches marked here on the center console. One is Sport, one is Sport Plus, and one has a little exhaust icon on it. When you press Sport, everything sharpens up a bit. Your gear changes are more rapid and slightly delayed, as you can see. Now if you switch that off and put on Sport Plus, all hell breaks loose. Everything is sharper, the throttle response is quicker and tighter, and the gear changes are just a little bit more crisp, and it keeps the revs for slightly longer. And if that isn't enough, you can press the exhaust button And what this does, it makes the exhaust a little bit more throatier and kind of just adds a bit more to the adventurous aspect of this car. It makes you feel like you're going much more faster than you actually go. Listen to that sound. The Sport Plus button also lets you have a bit of play with the car. You can slide around a little before the ESP kicks in and brings you back home safely again. This adds so much more to the whole adventure and the whole experience. And this is exactly what you get from Porsche. This is exactly what you got from your 911, just that they've transferred it into the Cayman package. It's absolutely fantastic. I love this car. Just listen to that exhaust sound, listen to that engine. At 839,000 Rand, the Porsche Cayman R does sound a little expensive, especially when compared to its competitors, the BMW 1M Coupe and the Audi RS3. Thing is, the Porsche Cayman R is a sensory experience. There's nothing better than having the vibrations of the engine in your back and the full handling dynamic of the car at your hands. That's a price many people are prepared to pay. That's a price I'm prepared to pay. Is it the best car driven all year? Well, it's damn close. It's probably my top 5. But if you want to see exactly where it rates, read the road test review in the 2012 March issue of GQ magazine.